In this video, a 3-card reading for the earth signs. All 3 cards for all 3 earth signs. That is Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. This is for you, and it's for anyone else who's drawn to watch this reading, because that's how they work. I'm Andy. We are using the Rider-Waite, which I haven't used for quite a long time. It's the old familiar deck that so many people relate to. It's often people's first tarot deck when they start, because it is very close to the heart of the traditional tarot, actually. Okay, so let's turn over. Well, I've picked 3 out. I haven't turned any over yet. Let's put the deck down so it doesn't interfere. We have got the 6 of Swords for the first card out. This is for all 3 earth signs, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. Now, being a sword card, it has to do with the air sign energy. So this would relate to Gemini, Libra or Aquarius in your actual chart. And if you haven't had a birth chart done yet, do get one done. Message me for details if you like. I do them. I'd be very happy to produce a birth chart for you. So 6 of Swords, okay, that air sign energy somewhere around you, somewhere in your life. Maybe it's an air sign person close to you. Maybe it's actually something close to do with yourself. What this card really shows, though, is a journey into the unknown. Now, we can see the distant shore on the opposite side of the lake there. It's looking like a very nice place, actually. There are green trees there. Nothing really to worry about there. But the character here is all kind of huddled up, and she's got a child with her and doesn't really know what they're going to find when they get to the other side. This is a question of trust, my friends. That's what's really important here, because it is looking very good on the other side. And this character who is driving the boat, steering it as well as rowing it, just with one, or my dad used to do that with rowing boats, actually. It's quite a skill. I think it's called sculling or something. And I always had to trust him not to sink the boat, and he never did, but I didn't know, how he was controlling it. And this is just the thing, you guys aren't going to really know exactly where you're going, exactly where the journey's going to take you, because nobody does. That isn't an exclusive thing to the earth signs by any means. That's really part of the human journey through life. None of us really know where we're going to end up. None of us really know exactly where life's taking us. But we have to have some trust to get on with the journey. And that's what the 6 of Swords is drawing our attention to here. We can see the 6 swords standing strong. And the swords really are, as much as anything, about making decisions, but they also have a lot to do with kind of will, The wands are really the ones to do with getting things done, but the swords are really about keeping your will, and they're very close to the heart of everything you stand for in your life and in your succession of lives, really, because we all reincarnate. And whatever happens, those swords are going to stand strong. You can imagine, even if everyone fell in the water, those swords would still be swords and they'd still have a life, okay? No one's going to fall in the water here. That's not what I'm talking about at all. But I am talking about trust, okay? Because there's nothing coming towards you that you can't handle yet. That is how the universe works. You might feel at the moment that you can't handle it, but the universe knows you can, and that's why you're being taken on this journey. It really is going to be pretty safe by the look of it. You just never know. It's a nice calm water, but it is a long journey across. Maybe waves will come up, maybe it'll get difficult. But whatever happens, it's a journey to a beautiful place, a beautiful destination. And really, guys, it's a journey to actually fulfilling your own ambitions, your own desires, and not necessarily in the way you expect to fulfill them. That's the game of life. That's the way it goes. It's a crazy recipe, but the recipe is unfolding, and it's all for the best. Okay, next card I turned over is the 9 of Wands. Now then, Wands, all about getting things done, really. This is fire sign energy. This is Leo, Sagittarius or Aries around you or in your chart. And I'm a Sagittarius, so maybe it's the effect I'm having on you. I hope that's a positive effect. Now, when we get the 9 of Wands, there's a big push really sort of left to come to get over some kind of hurdle, some kind of obstacle that's come up in recent times, usually with this card, because we tend to find that we've taken on rather a lot, and it could be that where we've committed ourselves to help people in the past, that time has come for those people to actually stand on their own 2 feet. Excuse me, and it can be a situation rather than a person, maybe even a group of people. You just never know when you're giving readings out, because so many people watch these. And I know my views aren't very high, but still, that's quite a lot of people. 20 or 30 that watch, that to me is quite a lot of people, and it's a privilege to actually do that. And here's the thing about running a small YouTube channel, spiritually, it's always worth it. Even if you're only sort of awakening one heart or only helping one person, it's worth doing it. So 20 or 30 people to me is great. I hope it grows, that's my affirmation, but it's my pleasure to be here doing this. The thing is, though, are you doing something that it isn't really your pleasure anymore? Maybe it worked in the past. Maybe it was valuable for you to actually do what you were doing in the past, and maybe that was helping people. Maybe now you need to move on, because you can't live your life for other people. That is the absolute truth, and that's what we've all got to kind of think about whenever we're trying to make any progress. And the ones are all about progress. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, do you actually need to cut the cord with the past? It's no bad thing to cut the cord, because if we accidentally cut the cord and we actually still need the cord, that cord will grow back in plenty of time for whenever we need it again. So think about cord cutting really with the past. And also, this is a bit like the Nine of Swords as well. I guess it's the energy of the numerology of the 9, but it's kind of like one last battle to get everything sorted out. You can see this character's kind of a bit suspicious. Oh, what's coming next? Can I handle it? He'll handle it a lot better if he cuts the cord with what no longer suits him. And if you're watching this video this week, we are actually coming up to a lunar eclipse, which is going to be on the 5th of July, and that is a great time for clearing out what no longer serves you. If you're watching it in the future, I'm sure a time for clearing out the past will come along. Maybe it's now. Who can say, really? So I pulled out 3 cards. I've turned over 2 of them. Let's turn over card number 3. And this time it is an earth sign card. It's the Ace of Pentacles, and the Pentacles is the suit of the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. And if you're not one of those signs, do not worry. I'm sure this reading is for you, or you wouldn't have been drawn to it. That's how these things work. The internet is much more cosmic than we give it credit for. And so is life, actually. And that is a lot of what this card is saying. Because although it's a very beautiful scene and it's kind of cosmic and mystic, the actual scene down on the ground here is very normal. It's not even a clear blue sky, is it? It looks like it's quite sort of rainy there. But still, it's a beautiful scene. And in the rainiest of times, at the worst of weather, there is a great beauty in the earth. I'm blessed to live in part of the world which is Wales in the United Kingdom, and it always rains in Wales, or nearly always, actually. To be fair, it doesn't absolutely always, but it usually rains in Wales. It's raining now. And something about the nature of Wales and the kind of green shades that we've got in nature here really show up in a beautiful light, even when it's raining, even when it's stormy. So that beauty is there throughout the storm, and regardless of what else is going on in your life. Sometimes we've got to listen to the silence behind the noise, and in the same way, maybe you're living somewhere where you can't easily connect with the ground beneath your feet because it's a city and it's maybe a long, long way to get out into the countryside. But the countryside is there for you, and the natural earth and all her magic is down there beneath the concrete. So just remember that everything is built on top of the actual natural earth, and all the man-made crazy materials we use, concrete and everything, is all made out of earth-born materials given to us by Mother Earth. Maybe she even gave us the ingenuity to know how to make them into buildings. I would think she did, because nothing comes from nothing, and the goddess energy, the energy of Mother Earth, is very strong and a big influence in all our lives all of the time. Now, there's a lot of alchemy in the Ace of Pentacles. There really is, because we've got actually all the signs come together in the Pentacles. We've got earth, air, fire and water in the lower 4 points of the pentagram, and the top point of the pentagram symbolises the divine looking after us and bringing all those energies together in a positive way and in a powerful way in our life. And it's really shining out amidst all that rainy sky. It kind of takes our mind off and our attention away from the fact that it's a bit of a grey sky and it's kind of raining. It's also also a purple sky though, so it's bringing out the healing potential there, and that is vast. And the alchemy of the Ace of Pentacles really is that whatever you put out, it's not just that you get back what you put out, you're always creating your own reality going forward. And when the Ace of Pentacles comes into play, we know that the universe is going to match all the efforts. So whatever we put out that's positive, we'll get back 1,000-fold, or at least double, which isn't bad, is it? But we hope for 1,000-fold. That's life. That's our individual journeys as to exactly how much comes back to us and how it comes back to us. But going back to the first card there, we're never given anything to deal with that we're not ready to handle. Okay, we will have a bit of a recap there on that note, actually. So we started off with the Six of Swords, and that is a very powerful energy about in terms of reminding us of the actual strength that we have, because those swords really are you guys, you know. It is actually your will. It's not just about making decisions, it's about the will behind those decisions. And when you think about it, all our choices have some willpower behind them, because we're always kind of mindful of where we're going in life somehow. We can't help it. I know we get distracted and we forget things, but the human mind is always focused on where it's headed, and it's looking like a beautiful journey here. We just don't know if the rough seas are going to come up, but the sea is there and the boatman is experienced. Nine of Wands, cut the cords if you must, have a last push if you must. You might be tired, you might be weary, but you'll be able to get it done if you just kind of live to fight another day. And that's what we're all alive for, really. If we'd actually fought all our battles and achieved everything we were supposed to achieve, we wouldn't be exactly alive in this beautiful world that we're in. And we wouldn't actually be aware that the world can be a beautiful place, even though, you know, it's got its horrible side, most certainly. That's always showing. You've only got to stick the TV on. In fact, you've only got to watch certain other YouTube channels to find out about that. I don't like to have bad news on my channel, but because there's enough of that in the world anyway. The good news is the universe has always got our back. That's what I'm all about as a channel, and I hope, guys, that's what you're going to be all about in your life going forward, because that's what really matters. We all have this hand offering us this pentacle magically from the clouds every day. This card is just a reminder of it, and it's a timely reminder. It doesn't come up in every reading, but that energy is always there every day. The universe has got your back. That's always the case. That's always how it works. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be along soon with more readings. This week I'm going to try and do one for each of the, one for the swords. What am I saying? One for the air signs, that's what I'm saying. One for the water signs and one for the fire signs as well, as we go through this week. Now, I'm sorry I haven't made any videos for a couple of weeks now, apart from the live session I did a week ago or something like that. And I was very grateful for everyone who came along on that live session. I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. The comments suggested that maybe you did, and there'll be more live videos to come. But, you know, I've been praying to get more work as a psychic and as a reader for a long time. And in about the last month, it's gone absolutely nuts. I'm getting lots of readings now, which I love doing. It's everything I prayed for. And if that can happen to me at my age, after all the decades I've been praying for it, then you can achieve your dream as well. So focus on that and keep on believing, because it can happen. Anyway, that's why I haven't done many videos, but we'll get 4 out this week so that we go through all the groups of signs, the fire signs, the water signs and the air signs, as well as today's reading, which is for the earth signs. You, if you're drawn to it, whoever you are, and I hope for the best. Meanwhile, have a great time ahead. I'll see you again very soon, and peace to you.